Alrighty, guys. So welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So last episode, we got a bunch of science and we spent it. We're down to 82, so we really can't buy anything else. But we're going to go get ourselves some more science. And something I did while I was offline is I went and I did some research on these new science items that I was not aware of before or didn't know what they did before. This photovoltaic panel, this GOB monitor, and this control station. And it turns out that these are little science stations that we can put out in different places and use. So we're going to take out the storage, the science storage, and we're going to put in some cargo storage into our space plane, or our rover, if you will. Not really a space plane, is it? And we are going to go ahead and get our EVA experiment kit, and we're going to put that in our inventory. We are going to get our goo monitor, and we're going to put that in our inventory. We are going to get our photovoltaic panel, put that in our inventory, and we're going to get our control station, and we're going to put that in our inventory. So now we got the four new items. This EVA repair kit, we're not going to grab it because we don't need to make EVA repairs, but we want these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we missing? Experiment control station. We got one. Monitor. We've got one. That we got. Oh, that's the EVA pack. We don't need it. We already have one. All right. So we're going to take these on out, and we're going to. Whoops. Did not want to do that because I don't think we have the right person in the rover. We need Bob. He's our scientist. Oh, we do have Bob. Okay, so he is our scientist. Good. And we are out on our runway, right? Now, we don't want to place this on the runway itself because if we place it on the runway itself, then it's going to get in the way every time we try to do something. So we're going to drive off of the runway here. And we're going to go over here. Now, my understanding with these is they are only usable like one per not necessarily one per planet, but you only get a planet's worth of stuff. You don't get like per biome. So I guess you can put more than one, but it doesn't do you any good to put them in multiple biomes. Is what I'm getting at. So we're gonna go home and open these up. We're going to get Bob to come on out, and he's going to come on back here, and we're going to set up like a little science station here. So we're going to grab the EVA kit first off, and we're going to get rid of this. We don't need this right now, so we're going to drop that in there too. So when we picked up that EVA kit, one of the things you'll notice is now we have this little Perform EVA Science. And this can be done, my understanding, in 3 locations. It can be done in the air, in space, and on the planet. So we're going to do it on the planet. I think that's the 3. Anyway, we're going to do the planet side one. So Perform EVA. And Bob's going to put his golf ball down and tee off. And I guess that's kind of an homage to when they did that on the moon. But that's going to give us 7.5 science. We'll take it. All right. So now let's go back and let us grab our photovoltaic cell. Now we're going to swap out for the kit. We can't put both of these in there at the same time. They're too big, so we can only get as much as we can get, but that's okay. We can make a couple of trips. So we're going to go over here to Bob and see the little down arrow. We're going to click that. And that's going to allow us to walk this around and put it down somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and spacebar and place this on the ground. And we're going to back up from it a little bit. And it should go ahead and open up. Maybe we got to interact with it. All right, let's see if we got to interact with it first. We put it down. Maybe it's too close to our craft. Ah, there it is. We were too close to it. So now it's going to open up, and now we got our solar panels. And if we come over to it now, it should be active. We should be able to interact with it. Come on, there we go, F. So now, connected, not connected. Power units produced 0. Power units required 0. Because it is not connected to anything, because we got to put the control module in. So, but it doesn't require any power units because it's going to produce power units. So now we can come over here, open this up. We will grab our control module, throw that in, come on over here, and now we're going to deploy our control module and back up from it. Up goes the antenna, everything turns on, and if we interact with this, we can see that there's no experiments connected, but it has a good comm signal. It needs 1 power. It's getting 1 power. So it is all good to go, right? So now, and I don't know what the minimum distance between these guys is. We're going to, may find out at some point. So now we can take our GUOB experiment, and we're going to put that down over here next to our control panel. I want to do it kind of sort of next to the other ones, and if we back up from that, and then we go on back over here, and we're going to be watching some goo, right? And if we interact with this, now we can see science per hour 0, science completed 0%, science transmitted 0%, science rate 100%. Power units required 1. Okay, so it is unpowered, so it's not close enough to our power unit. So maybe we got to bring this over next to our power unit some more. Not a problem. We will come over here with it. That's why I say I don't know what the minimum distance on this is. So we're going to bring it right on over here. And hopefully that's not too close to anything, not too far from anything. Let it fire up and see how it's doing now. All right, power required 0, power status unpowered. Power units produced. Let's pick this up. Maybe we got to move this somewhere. All right, well, I saw a light go on there. Connected. Unpowered, required, true. Power available 1. Power produced 0. Experiments connected 1. Power required. Power units produced. Status unpowered. Pick up part. Let's pick it up. Let's put it down again. Connected. All right. Power state unpowered. This one looks like it's got power. Total power available 1. Total power needed 2. Do I need 2 of these? Maybe the sun's not high enough. All right, let's go back and bring another one of these out. Maybe we need 2 of them. Maybe we need 2 of them. So let's go back. Let's bring out another one. Maybe we need 2. So we will go back and we'll get another one. Maybe we need 2 power stations. EVA experiment from Kerbin. So we got 7.5 science from the EVA experiment. That's nice. All right, so let's go back here and open this up. How do we have one in there? If we, I'm confused. I'm confused. Shouldn't the one that we have stay out there? All right, let's put another one in. Let's put. So now we have 2 of them, right, with us. Let's go ahead and close up our bays. Make sure we got the right crewman, Bob. Maybe we got to have Bill go out to set up the power because he's an engineer. Maybe that's the deal. We're gonna have Bill go out and set up the power. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay. Maybe Bob's got to set up the science. Bill's got to set up the thing. So maybe we need a craft that has space for more than one person on it, and we don't have that, so we'll just deal with it, and we'll do it this way. Maybe that's what the problem is. You know what? I bet that's the problem. I bet because Bill is an engineer, he can put down the power. Went a little too far. All right, not a problem. All right, Bill, come on out here. Get up off your head. Come on over here. And let's see if you can give us some power. right, Bill. Oh, you can't pick it up. You're full. Okay. Let's put down our stuff. We didn't put down our stuff, so we can't pick it up, I guess, because we can't. We don't have the room. Not a problem. All right. Now let's see if we can pick this up and put it down. If it's that simple, I'm going to be, well, not mad because I'm stupid, but but that would be cool. If that's all it is, pick up part. And then we'll have Bill put the part down. Okay, power produced 0. Total power needed 2. Total power available 4. So it looks like we got power now, right? So let's go over here and look at this and see if the experiment is powered now. Status powered. Yes. Okay. So looks like this is what we're going to get for science per hour. Now I wonder if, because Bill's out here messing with it, if we come back with Bob, it'll change that. But it looks like it's powered now, right? So now we're going to get some science every hour, even while we're not around. So we got our little science station out here now. So that's kind of free science, guys. Now, what was that number? Let's look. Make sure what that number was. I'm going to bring Bob out here and see if that number changes. F. All right. 0.843. All right. 0.0843. So let's go back in here. Let's grab Bob and have Bob come out here. See if it changes that science number. We'll have Bob interact with it and see if that changes it. But even so, that's going to give us power. That's going to give us science every little bit. And maybe if we put more than one down, I wonder if we'll get science faster if we put more than one down. But that's okay. We're just going to leave it out there because we got better ways of getting science. But I figured we'd put that out there and give it a try. Now, mind you, we're on Kerbin. So we're not going to get a whole lot of science because we're on Kerbin. But let us swap out our crew here and put Bob in here and have Bob go out there and look at it and make sure the science is the same. But if we put this on every planet and every moon, we'll be raking in a little bit of science every time, right, guys? So let's go over here with Bob and see if Bob gives us a little more science out of this thing. Can't hurt to try, right? Throw on our brakes so that we're slowing down before we get there. And in looking through the available science, there are other science items. Oh, you know what? Let's do something real quick so that we'll be able to pick that up. Right? Bring Bob on over here. Okay, 8437. So if we pick it up, and then we put it down, all right, it is connected. 84375. So no, okay. So that is the science we're going to get from it. All right, but it is down. So now we got our little science monitoring station. We got that going. Now let's go get some real science, guys. I want to get on the door, not the ladder. There we go. All right, so we recover the vehicle. Now, because we picked that up, it looked like it gave us a little bit of science. Maybe that's what we have to do every time is get the science, or it'll transmit it. I don't know. Science gained 0.0. That's fine. I didn't think we would get much. Done. All right. So now, let us go get some real science. So we're going to go over here to the assembly building. And now that we've got all that good stuff that we got with all of our science points before, let's go ahead and build a better rocket. So, of course, we're going to want a capsule. And we're going to want a parachute, right? But then we're going to want, let's do a Science Junior. And then below the Science Junior, we're going to want a heat shield, because we're going to try and come back with all of this. And then we're going to want a coupler, or a decoupler. Okay. Then we're going to want 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to want an engine. Pop an engine on there. All right. And then before we do anything else with that, we are going to add our science experiments. So science goo, we're going to do a double, and we're going to put this, you know what, since we're going to try and save the Science Junior, let's put this on the Science Junior. So now we have 2 of them, right? And I'm trying to get them as balanced as I can. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So then we want our barometer. We want our thermometer, right? And that's going to give us everything we can science-wise. Because this is going to be heavier, and because we got the Science Junior on there, let us put on a couple of radio-mounted parachutes just to kind of give us a little bit of extra oh shittiness, right? All right. Boy, those look like crap on there. There we go. That's about balanced. Oh, look. Apparently we had symmetry on when we did that. So we don't want symmetry on. We only want one. 1 thermometer, 1 barometer. That's all we need. We don't want it in the way of the parachute. All right, so there we go. So there's that. And we're going to put on a couple of drogues simply by virtue of the fact that we are coming from space. We want to make sure that we slow the heck down and we don't burn up before we get our parachutes deployed. Okay, so that gives us our parachutes. Next, we want to get to space. And for that, what we're going to do is we're going to throw on three, I think. Let's put them right about here. And then we're going to get some big boy engines. And let's pop them on. Right? And then, because we got them, let's put nose cones on them. All right, so what this is going to do, this will definitely get us up into space, but I also want to not only get into space on a ballistic trajectory, I want to be able to get into orbit. And when we get into orbit, we're going to get into an elliptical orbit so that we have a low orbit and a high orbit above Kerbin. So let's see. So there's our boosters, separation, engine, separation. We want our drogue chutes, which is that one and that one. And then we want our 3 main chutes, right? Okay. And we are going to have Bob go on this one because Bob is our scientist. Bob can gather up our materials and he can reset our stuff. So we're going to give her a good college try with Bob and try not to kill Bob. So we'll see. So we'll go out to the launch pad, launch. Now it has been a while, to say the least, since I have done a rocket up and made orbit. I mean, going up and coming down is easy, especially the coming down part. But circularizing an orbit and stuff, it has been a while. I think I remember how to do it. So we're going to put the SAS on. We are going to throttle all the way up, even though these are boosters and we don't need them. Now, normally you would do what's called a gravity turn, where you go up and then you kind of go over at an angle so that you take advantage of the rotation of the planet to give you some forward momentum and speed. But because of these boosters and the size of this rocket, and I don't have any fins on it or anything, and the stuff that's on top, it is probably going to be top heavy as hell, which means it's going to be unstable as hell. So what I'm going to do, and that's why I'm doing the big boosters, is we're going to go straight up, as high as we can, get out of the air as quickly as we can, and then we're going to turn around, and then we're going to worry about circularizing our orbit. But we want to get up and out of the air as fast as possible. So our SAS is on. Looks like all of our staging is okay. So let's cross our fingers and see if we blow Bob up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So long, Bob. Bob looks a little nervous. I can't say that I blame Bob for being nervous. I would be a little nervous too. As long as we're going straight up, I'm happy. We're definitely picking up some speed. You see the shock wave there. I wonder if we're going to get hot and blow up. Hopefully 3 is enough, and 4 would have been too much maybe. Looks like we're starting to get some heating. So yeah, so maybe 4 would have been too many. We'll get rid of that. We're going to throttle all the way down, but we're going to turn our engines on. We're going to go out here to the map and see how high we're going to get. So that's going to put us up at 80. So let's start ourselves a maneuver node. And on the prograde, we're going to pull that out, which is going to increase our orbit. And hopefully we can bring it. There we go. So our periapsis is 57. Our apoapsis is going to be 350. That, I think, works for me. I'm going to be happy with that if we can hit that, because that'll bring us up enough, or apoapsis, that we're high above, and then we can raise this up a little bit. So let's get this going. We have 1 minute until the thing, and it's got a burn time of 1 minute. So at 30 seconds is when we want to start, and we're going to point towards our maneuver node. And at 30 seconds, we're going to throttle up, because you want to split this difference, because it's not instantaneous thrust. So you want to get halfway or so on either side. So we're going to go ahead and throttle up. And our apoapsis is coming up, but you see we're stretching ourselves out here a little bit. Our fuel is still okay. Now let's head prograde so that we really kind of spread this out. Hopefully we will have enough fuel. This should pop in a second and just really kind of come across. What we might do is come down a little. Let us get up here further, and then we'll maneuver again. Just to bring it on out and circularize it. Alright, so if we bring that to, say, 300, close enough, right? Close enough. Alright, so let's head towards our maneuver node, and when we get close to it, we will give a little more thrust. We only need 5 seconds worth this time, and that'll push us up plenty high. Let's go ahead and speed up a little bit here so we get closer to it. Slow back down. Make sure we're pointing towards our maneuver. And hopefully we burn enough that we get, there it is, coming up. 100, 200. I think that's close enough. We get rid of that. And our periapsis is 97. Our apoapsis is 323. We are in orbit, guys. So now let's go back to Mr. Bob. And we're going to have Bob do a bunch of experiments. Uh-oh. You know what I did not do? That's okay. We didn't bring the orbital experiment with us. We can get it later. So we'll take a crew report, right? And then we're going to do a pressure. We're going to do a temperature. We're going to do a goo. We're going to do a material study. And then we're going to do an EVA. And we're going to do an EVA report. And then we're going to gather up all this science. And we're going to store it all inside. We're going to board the craft. We're going to go on up here, and we're going to wait for him to get all the way up here so we can speed this up till we get close up here to our apoapsis. Probably not pronouncing that right. I'm probably going to hear about it from somebody. All right, so now we're all the way up as high as we're going to go. So we're going to do the same thing, and we should get different data. So we're going to do a crew report. Nope, cancel. We're going to have to do this. We'll have to do an EVA, and then take all the data, store all the data. Then we can do a crew report. Right? Then we can get a goo. We can get a material study. We can get a pressure reading. We can get a temperature reading. We can EVA and get an EVA report. All right, so we got all the science we can get because we don't have enough to store all of this. We could reset it and this and that and the other, but we're going to run out of room. So we're going to go ahead and board the craft, right? And we are up at our apoapsis, so it's going to be pretty easy to bring our periapsis back down into the planet. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our SAS on. We're going to point retrograde, right? And what that will do is we will fire the rocket in the direction that we are headed. And let's bring it on down. So we're going to watch as this comes down. And once it contacts the planet, we're going to stop. There we go. So now, that's going to bring us back down into the ocean. And we got plenty of fuel to spare. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit, just to get us around to here. Go back to the craft. And since we are good to go, go ahead and close those doors. We can go ahead and get rid of the rest of this rocket. Now we are going to want to go point retrograde, and the reason we want to do that is we want our ass end facing the way we're going because that's where our heat shield is. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the ride down, and we can speed this up and get a little closer. All right, we're back down to warp of 1. because we are now contacting the atmosphere. And we're headed in. There we go. And that's why we wanted to go prograde, so that we got that heat shield to take care of our issues. And we can right click on it and see how much of it we've got left. Getting a little close to being hot. I'm hoping we don't go boom and lose something. We lost something. What did we lose? We lost our goo canisters. Oh well. That sucks. We lost part of our science, but that's okay. We got a lot of it. Alright, so let's hit our drogue chutes. Start to slow us down. It should keep us under speed so that we should be able to go ahead and hit our regular chutes. If I'd have put the goo canisters a little higher, they might have been out of the plume. We might have saved our goo canisters. That's okay, because we got to go up a few more times anyway to get more science. Because everything is in threes, right? You can get it in threes. So there's our regular chutes. So we can pick up the rest of that science as we go up. We're going to be going other places and stuff. But we'll take a look, see how much science that gave us. It should have given us a fair bit of science. Even with losing the goo canisters, because we did get the one goo canister experiment, I do believe. And later on we'll have bigger capsules and stuff. We'll be able to store more data. Alright, there we go. There's our main chutes. Not yet. Nope, that's just the drogue chutes. I don't want to speed up and risk losing my chutes. Alright, there's our main chutes. We can cut our drogues. Now we can speed it up a little bit till we get down close. I wonder if you can set the settings on the main chutes too. Yes, you can. So we could actually set them to go off later on if we wanted to. So we could get closer to the ground before they fully open. Although then you're running the risk of too much speed. So we'll see. We'll have to experiment with it maybe. All right, and there we are. So now, let us try something here, just out of curiosity. Take all the data, store all the data. Can we get an EVA report from here? 3 science from Kerbin's water. Take a surface sample, 12 science. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to take it in there with us. Oh, yes, we can. Can we get a crew report? Oh, yes, we can. All right. I wonder. Let's try it. It's EVA. Take the data. See if we can store it. Yes, we can. Take the data. Store the data. All right. So then we can. Ooh, I wonder if we can get this one too. EVA. Collect the data. Restore. Store the experiment. Yes, we can store it. Nice. Board. So that means we should be able to log a temperature, log a pressure, do a materials. Oh, nice. All right, guys. That is nice. Can we do a crew report? Or did we already do a crew report? We already did a crew report. Okay. Recover. Let's see what we got for science, guys. Booyah! So that gave us 200 science just from that little trip. So now we're up to 289. So let us go ahead and spend some of that, shall we? All right. So these are all 160, and these are 90. So that would be 270. So we could take one of each, or we could take two of these. Let's see what we got. I'm liking the robotics parts. We could have a lot of fun with the robotics parts. This is nice because you can do what's called asparagus staging, and you can connect fuel tanks to fuel tanks to fuel tanks. That's tempting. Some more engines and some more tanks, some more engines and some more tanks. And then this one I know gives us another piece of equipment that we can send out to our little lab out there. So I do like that. This is going to give us more batteries, more solar panels. I really like the idea of having the weather thing. This is a scanning arm. It's more science. Research facilities only on Kerbin. With mobile processing lab, you can conduct long-term experiments and ongoing research you collect in the field. Um, I think that's going to give us more capacity. Cargo pods. Let's take this so we can put this out there, right? That leaves us 129. So we could take one of these. Let us take... Had to do some research on that sample return device. I like having the robotics. I want to play with the robot stuff, but I want to have that fuel piece too. Let's do the robotics first. Let's grab the robotic stuff. Off camera, I'm going to send up another couple of launches and do the exact same thing that we just did. Hopefully I don't lose the goo, and we'll get ourselves some more science. But I think that's going to do us. I think that works for now. So we will take our little... Let's go ahead and take that other piece of science gear out there, and then we'll call it an episode, shall we? All right. So, crew, we want Bob Kerman because she's the scientist. And then in here we want where is it? The weather analyzer, right? Where did it go? Oh. Come on. Open. Oh, because we saved it with the science experiments, not with the stupid cargo space. All right, so there we go. So now we can put this in here. And we've already got the other stuff out there. Let's take an extra panel with us in case we need it. I don't think we do. I think we still have enough power. And we should still have Bob. Nope. Get rid of Jeb. Send out Bob. And launch it. Let's take it out there and hook up this new science and get it running. And then we're going to call it an episode. Forgot to close these. Hit our brakes. Come on, Bob. Got a job for you. And we want to put that in there and that in there and grab that. See what this one does. got a little whirly-giggy, and that's probably a temperature sensor. So it's connected, power produced, 0, power required, 1. It is powered. It's going to give us 0.09 science per hour. Very nice. Very nice. And how are we doing here? We got 58% complete. We'll have to see if this transmits back when it's done. Maybe that's how that works. And total power needed, total power available 4, so yeah, so that's going to give us plenty. 2 experiments connected. All right. Awesome sauce. We could connect 1 more experiment, it looks like, if we wanted to. We don't need to because we don't have one. But we got our little science station there going. It's going to give us a little every time, hopefully. And let's head home. All right, guys, so there it is. We are done another episode. I'm going to make a couple more trips up and grab the rest of the science that we can for that. And we will go from there. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.